dropouts to the chainstays, and that's the center of axle to back of BB, which you should still have that marked. Mine was 416, I believe. And that looks a little bit long. Let me just double check that.
Over here. Oops. What do you call that value?
You tell me.
Chainstay length.
Let's think about this. What do you think that value is called?
The bottom bracket to axle center line length.
All right, yeah, center of axle to back of BB.
Center of axle to back of BB, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so what that setting is, so for the center of axle to back of BB, at that mark, we want your width at the BB, right? Which is your overlap times 2, subtracted from your bottom bracket width. Yeah. So for me, I came in 5 on each end. So, and I have a 68 shell. So 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract that from 68, I get 58. So I'm at 58. You want to make sure that this is parallel to this piece is parallel to the fixture when you're doing it. And you can see I set it up for the black mark, but it looks like it's a little bit off. Not worried about it. I'm going with it. But I like to know where that is because that's a funny little thing that I do when I cut through here. I want to see how close I got. Okay, so this works the same way. If you need that to be narrower, then you move this assembly forward. If you need it to be wider, you move it backwards. Okay. Once you've got all that set up, then we need to set the table so that it's oriented to the in this case, it's a hole saw, but it's our BB shell. So for those of you who have T47s, we're gonna have to replace this with a 2-inch or a 50 mil. And for the rest of us, we're at 38, which is 1.5 inches. Uh-oh, this has been blocked. All right. So the way we set our length is pretty fancy, high-tech stuff. It's actually really accurate. So my center of axle to back of BB is 416. So I put this on the back of the BB, or the back of the hole saw, as if it was my BB. And I measure straight from the back of that to the center of my axle here. And I'm shooting for my center of axle to back of BB length, which is 416. Bingo. 4. Okay. Then we lock our table down. And then the next thing I need to check here is, this is kind of like the same bias part of the cut, right? So if my BB is here, and I've got my seat tube, and I have my down tube, and my chain scissor can come back, I would like to have this miter biased as low as possible. Does anybody know why? Do you two know why?
We should.
Would it maximize the area that would it maximize the size of your bead?
That can occur, yeah.
Okay.
It can increase the size of your bead for sure. Why is that a good thing? Or what
Because
is
you'd
it
have
good?
more strength, more.
Okay, Sure.
More longer would be the more
I
straight.
should, but that was last year, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you the truth.
So the biggest reason why we do it is because our seat tube is right here, and if we can bias this down to the bottom,
Gives
we're
you
less
more room for the seat too.
we're less likely for the two beads to run into each other, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's less work. Also, you could argue that it's stiffer because your bracing point is further apart. So it's, in my opinion, it's probably negligible, but it's an argument. Okay, so I will set this up so that it is.
Basically, it's keep your chain stays away from your seat tube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna go there. So I lock my table down. This is snug, but not too tight. You don't want to dent the tubes. You want to make sure that these are tight and that your dropouts are tight into the dummy axle. Any questions? Okay,
Why
so
the called the dummy axle?
Because it's not designed for riding, it's just designed to be
Hold
a
your
fixture.
what would you call it?
A smart axle?
Smart axle, yeah.
Maybe you're a smart axle. You ever think that?
One thing I want you guys to note right now is that this is an acute miter and this is an obtuse. So the drive side is an obtuse, the non-drive side is an acute, right?
Yep.
So log that in the memory banks for a sec. Whenever you make this cut, you want to stop and pull the chip off before it breaks, because this can come over and jam itself into here or jam itself between the hole saw and the fixture or the tube. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong here. So this is one area where you really want to make sure you're breaking that chip off yourself.
What's your cutting speed? About 280 something?
It is exactly 250.
250. And this machine stays at 250, huh?
No, we can change it all over the place. We do enough extreme cutting with this as far as like the pony saws versus the hole saws, we have to change it.
Extreme cutting.
Does the hole saw look a little eccentric?
Yeah, and that's normal.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it's rare when you find one that's like really well done. But that's why we only pay like $14 to $24 for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flip that red switch.